It's a fight likened to Daryl Kerrigan's beloved castle. These pensioners claim they're facing legal threats and intimidation as they try to save their homes. But like Daryl, they refuse to back down.
We've got nothing else but our homes. We're going to be on the street.
This old saying, bleed them till they die.
Comfortable and peaceful is how they imagined their retirement. Any reason the door's locked?
I'm sorry, I'm just over it.
I can imagine you're over it, but isn't it by your own doing?
No, not at all.
But the dream of these true Aussie battlers has turned into a turf war, and the reality is only the strong will survive.
I put my life savings into this and it's just hurting, something shocking.
They tell me this is the happiest caravan park in Australia, according to your website. Doesn't sound like it.
Please, okay.
When the Coolah Caravan Park was born in 2012, everyone used to be friends. Not anymore. There's the residents, and then there's Jeanette and Graham.
Do you know what they want? They want to take the whole park. Yeah.
Well, they probably want their land and their homes back, don't you think? In better times, together, they had the perfect retirement plan.
A group of about 30 retirees had all pooled their life savings to buy a caravan park with the dream of building their retirement homes there and living the rest of their days by the river. And it was a great idea, and it's still a great idea today, because for $400,000 they bought enough land to build 40 homes.
And out at the very quiet Coolah, 5 hours northwest of Sydney and a long way from nearly everywhere, Jeanette and Graham created Coolah Home Base and took the role of company directors.
We were happy. But once we moved in, we discovered that things weren't quite as happy as it was made out.
Christine and Jeff paid $25,000 for their plot, $150,000 for their home. They say everyone agreed to weekly site fees to keep the park going. But as the years went on, the residents started asking questions. Where were the fees going? And you won't believe what happened next.
Well, in December of 2019, I got a phone call from someone at Coolah telling me what sounded like a bizarre story.
Lawyer Peter Vogel.
They just learnt that the land had been sold, that it was now no longer their land, no longer their homes, and they were all going to be evicted unless they agreed to sign up for a new contract.
Without a word of warning, Jeanette and Graham put the company into administration. They left their treasured riverside home in Coolah and moved here, a $1 million pad on the sunny Gold Coast with its sparkling water views. How did you feel when you heard they were living in a $1 million mansion on the Gold Coast?
Sick.
But it got worse. Susan Kelly and the other residents quickly found out the administrators had sold the company, their homes and land. And you'll never guess who bought it. Jeanette and Graham. Could you believe that they'd be allowed to buy that back?
No, I do not believe they were allowed to buy it back. That's why the administrators we have to take to court as well, you know, over this, because they allowed them to buy it back as vacant land. Where is the vacant land here?
They've been threatened with eviction. They've been told that their homes and their land no longer belongs to them, that it belongs to this new company. And if they hadn't by chance contacted us in December of 2019, they would all now be homeless. This is really like the castle, but times 20.
It's not a house, it's a home. A man's home is his castle.
Who can forget Daryl Kerrigan and his family's fight to save their beloved castle? Taken from under their feet, they headed to court. The real-life residents of the Coolah Caravan Park say they feel just like Daryl. Who would have thought in their retirement they'd be having the biggest and most expensive fight of their lives, heading to the Supreme Court to plead their case? Marnie Robertson, one of 18 residents fighting to just keep a roof over her head.
At my stage in life, and like many others here, we don't have a lot of money, so you just can't leave your home and set up elsewhere. You just don't do it.
Jimmy, did you ever think you'd have a case in the Supreme Court?
No, I don't particularly want one either, but you know.
The cost of the legal fight has already taken its toll. G'day, Jeanette, how you going? Nat Wallace from A Current Affair. We're just hoping to visit some people in the park today. Jeanette and Graham have sold their $1 million Gold Coast mansion and moved back to Coolah to manage the park they now own.
I'm sorry, I'm just over it.
Isn't it by your own doing?
No, not at all. We've made a settlement offer to give them exactly what they had before.
Doesn't sound like it was a very good offer. What they offered was a rental agreement. In fact, they've tripled the site fees. They could be homeless.
I'm sorry, we are verging on bankruptcy.
Is it worth fighting for?
Of course it is. This is our home now.
Before now, many visitors claimed they'd been denied entry. The offer's still there if you'd like to have a chat to us, so we're more than happy to sit down and hear your side of the story.
We would love for you to hear our side of the story, but right now my husband's not here.
So we went back to see Graham, who tried to outrun us on his trusty ride-on mower. G'day, Graham. Nat Wallace here from A Current Affair, mate. How are you?
Just go away, will you please?
We just want to give you a chance to tell your side of the story. Jeanette and Graham's lawyers sent A Current Affair a letter denying all of the residents' claims. What's it like living in this park?
Toxic.
It's like living in a gulag.
Some residents claim they've been bullied by Jeanette and Graham, police even taking out an AVO to protect one of them. Even the former caretakers of the park are trying to take Jeanette and Graham to court in a separate case. You're a little bit teary. You're all right, mate.
Yeah, very hard.
Kim and Craig Williams say they were sacked and evicted from Coolah Home Base, coming home to find their doorknobs drilled out and possessions thrown out. A sad end, they allege, Jeanette and Graham were behind.
We had to have police escort to get our stuff out of the house in front of our 14-year-old son. In the bathroom.
To avoid being homeless themselves, they've had to move to a half-renovated house that doesn't even have a toilet.
Yeah, and this is where we're sleeping.
A swag?
In a swag. Yep.
The first thing that I would want is that my mum or my dad, I would want them out of there because it's toxic.
We've had 5 of our people have died since this started, and the rest of us aren't getting any younger.
And what's even sadder, not a single government agency wanted to help. Surely it doesn't take a lawyer or a magistrate to see that there's a massive question mark there.
It happens every day. ASIC is meant to regulate it. We asked ASIC to look at it. ASIC say they don't have the resources.
Now it'll be up to the court to make a judgment on this bitter dispute. No matter what happens, there's only one certainty. At the end of all this, there'll be no winners.
It would have been the ideal place. Yes, it's been destroyed, but you know, sometimes when battlers are pushed down, they come back up. So don't think we won't.
With the case set down for the Supreme Court in August, the residents are fundraising to pay for the fight. We contacted ASIC and Fair Trading to ask why they didn't step in earlier. Both responses are on our website.